This is going to be your warning if you have a sensitive stomach. You do not want to see by winds. This is going to be your warning if you have a sensitive stomach. You do not want to see animals that have been burned alive essentially by a wildfire. Don't watch this video any longer. Okay, this is your warning. What you're looking at is the remains of a fire that burned through north central Kansas near the town of Paradise. And this is one of the most disturbing sights I've ever seen covering wildfires over a span of the last 15 years. So in the field you can see just dead and now bloated cattle sitting where they burned alive. The most disturbing part is right here in this ditch. You can see where they had just piled up trying to escape the flames as they were being pushed by over hurricane force winds. And once the weight of the cattle broke through the barbed wire, they rolled over and they ended up here in the bar ditch. It's on both sides of the road. You can hear the cattle in the distance. They've heard our voices and hear the noise, and they're looking for humans, for some food, some water. There's even cattle, though, unfortunately, like that one standing in the middle of the field there, that need to be euthanized. The wounds they have are just horrific from the flames that went through here. This fire was absolutely massive. This is a lot of rolling hills, as you can see, and the flames just were ripping through here again, at times pushed by winds gusting over 70 miles an hour up to 100 miles an hour. Recorded in nearby Russell. You can hear that poor cow suffering. The cost is horrific, not only just to animals, but also to the people. Numerous homes burned here in the area as well. Farmers' fields, farmers' crops. And animals that just had no place to go, trapped in by the barbed wire and overcome by those flames.
Implants are a very versatile technology that can be used for many different things. And right now it's very convenient to have a COVID passport always accessible on your implant. So in case your phone runs out of battery, it's always accessible to you. The implant is readable by any smartphone that has NFC function. So I can go to a restaurant or a movie theater, I just show them my arm and swipe me with a smartphone and then that pops up the COVID passport that I have on my chip. So you don't need a special app for this. Kind of similar to a QR code, just that of course I don't want the QR code on my skin, right?
Flame cattle belonged to this rancher. His name is Chris Pelton. Reluctantly at first, Chris graciously interviewed with us so we can better understand the depth of this devastation. And your ranch is named Pelton Ranch?
Pelton Ranch.
Talk about last night, sir.
You knew it was coming. You just hoped it would go around you or miss you somewhere or another, and the wind's just shifting from southwest to west to north, and it just encircled us, and I mean, there's nothing you could do.
It's more than just a house, though. You've lost part of your livelihood here.
It is. We lost a lot of cattle. We didn't lose all the cattle. I mean, we're thankful for that. I mean, they could have been pinned against the fence and not been able to escape. So we've still maintained some livelihood, some to go forward with.
How hard is it, though, to leave, knowing what you're leaving behind? The animals, I mean, I grew up, we had a feedlot. I know what my dad would have been like.
It's hard. I mean, leaving because you know there's nothing you could do. And said these animals in the dry lot here that where there was no grass to fire. I mean, they suffered smoke around here a lot, but they survived and thrived through it well. So we're thankful for that. I mean, thankful that the ones that survived.
This is cattle country, right, in Kansas?
True.
I mean, have you ever, when I talked about severe weather here, you think of tornadoes. You think of a tornado coming through. Do you ever imagined a fire like this?
Oh, I've been on the volunteer firefighter here for 20 years, and we've had some bad ones and in recent years, but nothing of this. I mean, the wind is what makes everything. I mean, when you get 100-mile-an-hour winds, there's so little. You can do. And yeah, we have fires when the wind's blowing 15, 20, you can get them stopped. But you know, I think a lot of the trucks last night, we just got the point, there was no point. It was, you know, too much safety concern. And they pulled a lot of them out. There just wasn't anything to do. You just hope it burns out.
What can people help? How can people help you? I know ranchers are gonna watch this video and they're gonna
and one first-year law student at ASU watching as her childhood home and family ranch were destroyed by those wildfires. ABC 15's Luz Delia Caballero with more on their heartbreaking loss.
Sarah says the wounds are still fresh, but she's optimistic. With the community's help, her family will be able to build back what they've lost.
There was nothing. Left.
Sarah Pelton says the wind and fire took everything.
Just 2 feet of ashes in our concrete basement, a few things scattered around the lawn. Everything is just flattened to the ground.
The fire was moving so fast that before they knew it, black smoke was all around their home.
We really couldn't see anything outside, so we didn't know if the fire was right on us.
So they grabbed the essentials and drove off to get away from the nearby flames.
There's really not a lot you can do to save anything at that point. The fire just goes where it wants to go.
She was able to get her laptop out, which she needs for school, though family pictures gone. To Sarah and her family, the biggest loss of all was their beloved animals.
Just seeing the damage and destruction, it's absolutely devastating.
The Pelton Ranch, which her parents built 40 years ago, was wiped out by the flames.
Seeing all their hard work with their business being torn down, it was very emotional for me and everyone in our family.
Luckily, they were able to save 200 cattle and are in the process of relocating them.
Ranching is a very, very time-intensive and a very thankless job. Out here feeding the world, and no one learns more about a problem than the person at the bottom. Right now, we're pretty close to the bottom.
But she's confident her family will slowly rebuild, and above all, she's thankful they still have each other.
We're just happy that everyone in our family is safe.
Lustelia Caballero, ABC 15.
Free gas hack. What's good? It's your boy Benny.